Hey everyone, Sean Smith here from PPCAMSaccelerator.com, and today I want to talk about managing Amazon PPC during a market crash. So before we get started, please click the like button. Really helps with the YouTube algorithm. I know I repeat it every video, but it's really important and I would really appreciate it. So, we're in a market crash, right? The global economy is in a market crash. The U.S. economy is in a market crash. Inflation rates are at an all-time high. I think I read that biggest inflation rate since like December 1981 or something like that. The Bureau of Labor Statistics. And, basically what's happening is prices for everything is going up, right? Oil, because of the conflict in Ukraine and Russia, this is not new, has been going up. And when the cost per barrel of oil goes up, everything that uses oil, all those transportation methods for our food, for private label products, goes up. So guess what? Amazon sellers get hit, right? Amazon business owners get hit because of their suppliers. And then the consumer gets hit because the Amazon seller has to increase the price as well. And so how do we manage PPC during a market crash? Well, first off, have the conversation. If you're an Amazon seller, you need to have the conversation with your team. If you are an agency who manages accounts, you're a consultant who manages PPC accounts, even if you're working for someone like an Amazon business owner to manage their PPC, step number one, have this conversation. I hope you already have had it because we've been going through this for a while. So how am I going? I'm having these conversations with my clients. And how am I going about managing Amazon PPC? Well, number one area, budget. So we need to figure out what our budget looks like. Hey, how much are we spending per month? How much should we be spending per month and why? So looking at monthly budgets, even weekly, I look at weekly and monthly spend. Looking at monthly spend, looking at weekly spend, and figuring out the best direction to go. Because right now, since profit margins are lower and sales are lower, now not every Amazon business owner is shrinking, right? And if you're launching products, that'll help with the growth. But your existing products, we might see sales go down because people don't have as much discretionary money to spend on things outside of food, outside of their necessities, because the necessity prices are going up. And so they have less discretionary spend. So their tendency to to shop on Amazon goes down. So that's huge, man. So we start with spend and we just think about, hey, how much money do we need to spend? We also look at ACOS, obviously. We look at TACOS, which is the advertising spend divided by total sales. We look at PPC to total sales ratio. And we just figure out what's the best way to go. And really, the best way to go is consolidation. It's about preserving profit and staying lean. For the most part, not everyone, fits into this category. And it's not about staying so lean that you don't grow, but it's just being more aware of where you're spending your advertising dollars and where you can dial back, right? Where you can dial things back. And, in the age, and at this point on Amazon, when I started on Amazon, we only had, sponsored products. We had headline search ads, sponsored brands, and we had the sponsored display, but it wasn't as big as it is now. And now we have sponsored brands video. Sponsored brands is a lot bigger. Sponsored display is, they're rolling out a lot of features. And, people are being encouraged to spend money on these different ad types. But you have to step back and say to yourself, what type of incremental growth will I get from this? And is it worth that incremental growth? And can I even get incremental growth? Because you can't win against the economy, right? You can't beat the demand. You can't beat demand, basically. If the demand goes down, then there's no demand, maybe you create demand. And this isn't like a doom and gloom type video. This is just an awareness video. This is a video to say, hey, let's have this conversation about how we manage Amazon PPC, because a lot of people are seeing sales go down, be flat, and even the accounts that I work with were going down. And so I'm having a lot of conversations with them about this. Luckily, they're smart people, and they're connected with other Amazon sellers, and they're seeing things go down as well. And so we're just having to really rethink how we spend our money. Like on my last video, I ran an analysis on weekend versus weekday performance, right? And if we find out that, maybe we could pause ads on Saturday or Sunday for a SKU and test it, maybe we can decrease our ad spend and potentially increase profitability. Our sales might not quite be the same, but we're going to be way more profitable. Our margins will go up even further, which is important because surviving through this is a cash game. Surviving through down times is a cash position. So that's why having cash right now is really important, right? Because if you had all your money tied up in investments, then you wouldn't have cash. And I know there are people who have different opinions about having cash, but during down times, a lot of investors pull out so that they can have cash because it's more stable. And some people even invest in gold and precious metals. Buddy of mine, he's an investor, and he said that during down times, a lot of people increase their investments in things like gold. So just have the conversation, think about how to be leaner. And I'm even thinking about, so not only the weekend versus weekdays performance, but I'm also thinking how do we even further segment PPC, primarily sponsored products, to make it to where we are able to more granularly do more granular bid optimization per target so that we can even be leaner. And, how do we dial back some of the auxiliary spend? So it's just something to think about and really think about, hey, are these adding on? Are the new ad types and everything creating incremental spend? So that kind of wraps up this video. This one was pretty quick, but I think that it provides a lot of value in the sense that you can start having these conversations and, basically start thinking about how to get a little leaner. And we're not doing it because we're afraid. We're doing it because the numbers show, or I don't know, you might be working with accounts where it's just going up and up and up. In that situation, this video doesn't apply. But if you're seeing Amazon businesses where they're flat year over year, or they're going down, and it's clearly from economic conditions, then we have to use that data to start making decisions about, hey, how do we increase our margins by dialing back advertising in some areas? And it's not a bad thing, because if they're more profitable, it's a healthier thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please click the like button. And if you want to work together, head on over to ppcamsaccelerator.com. Thanks so much.